September 10th, 1991, the world became entranced by little, at the time, band called Nirvana. Smells Like Teen Spirit had just came out, and the world was entranced. Soon after, bands such as Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, and Soundgarden, to name a few, would explode onto the scene. Nobody at the time knew what to call this emerging sound, so the world would soon come to call this explosion grunge. Grunge would rule the charts from the late 80s to the early mid-90s, but with the death of Nirvana's Kurt Cobain in 1994, all eyes on the Pacific Northwest scene disappeared. The world would become dormant to the Pacific Northwest for a long while. Rappers would emerge here and there, bands would live and die, but nothing really came out of it. The scene was dead until now. Meet Leebo, aka Leebo Tracks. Artist, producer, and promoter. Leebo grew up in Augusta, Georgia, and lived there until he was roughly 10 years old. Him and his family would then move to a small little city called Pasco in Washington State. Pasco is one of 3 connecting cities in Washington, known as the Tri-Cities. There's Richland, Kennewick, and Washington. It's called the Tri-Cities because each city is within 10 to 15 minutes away from each other. Leebo first started producing and messing around in FL Studio when he was in high school. He wasn't great at it, but he would be. One day, one of his friends brought over a microphone, and as a joke, they started spitting some bars and made some songs. And eventually, over time, one of Leebo's songs, Dutch Bro Shoddy, would gain attention by the local scene. Leebo produces all of his songs in his catalog, and it's quite impressive. He's like the young Kanye West. Now, on to the main point of the video. Leebo, and I say this with great humbleness and gratitude, if he had not given me the chance to perform or given me a voice, I probably wouldn't be doing music. And that's straight up. You know, because I never had that voice. I never had that say. Nobody heard my music besides a few friends and family. But Leebo is giving me and many artists the chance to finally speak that voice. Artists such as Casco, Cash Capri, Young Wolf, and Auzzie Clean, hey, that's me. They're giving them a chance to finally live out their dreams. The amount of time that this man has spent for the community is infinite. I remember we would have weekly meetings, and we still do, about how to improve our networking, our promoting, how to make more money in this game, and how to do better than we did before. Just learning about all these bits of knowledge. This man is literally giving out free game because he can. And this involves the whole country too. Leebo has now thrown 2 cross-country tours for artists wanting to showcase their talent in front of new faces. From Washington to even Florida, the Storm Tour, as it's been named, has been making waves, and soon the world will get swept up and carried by the wave. So I know, at least as far as experience from doing work with you, you kind of, from at least from my perspective, you kind of give artists, even if they really don't necessarily have the income to maybe put on a show or perform, you kind of give them incentives to where you give them options to where, okay, if you do this, then you might be able to perform for this amount of time or this amount of time. Can you kind of explain what you're trying to do for the community as far as that goes?
Yeah, I'm basically just trying to provide a platform that is accepting of, you know, all different types of music scenes, and allow them to be involved whatever way that works for them and us mutually. You know what I'm saying? We want everyone to, that's a part of it, to be able to, you know, be involved if we can make it happen. You know, if people don't have the money to make it happen, then that means they just need to work a little harder on promoting it and making sure that they have, you know, more maybe flyers around the city, or, you know, they're talking about it on their social media more. If you have the money, then you can just get in that way, and you don't have to do as much to promote. You know, it's still important to promote, but you know, we're not going to make push as hard. You know, so we just want to be a platform that is here to support, you know, people that don't have, you know, as much money to put into their dreams.
Right.
We want to support people that do have it, but also just make it make sense for those that don't have the money to make up for that lack of financial support by putting in extra energy out there in the world about what we're doing.
Now, I wanted to make this video because I think this man deserves credit for, you know, the amazing things that he's done for the Pacific Northwest scene and just in general. You know, the impact that he's making is immense, but yet no one really seems to be talking about it. So that's why I'm here. Listen, you don't have to like his music. You don't even have to like him, but you cannot deny the fact that this man and his impact in the Pacific Northwest scene is immense, and his guidance is greatly appreciated. Anyways, that being said, I hope you guys like this video. I don't know if I'll get any views, but I thought I'd make this video for myself. You know, I kind of wanted to give this man his flowers because I feel like not a lot of people give him the credit that he deserves. So, you know, this is also my first video, so I have no idea how this is gonna go. I'm sorry if it's kind of weird or bad. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, anyways, this is Auzzie. Peace.